Is being compassionate a weakness or a strength in life? Let's explore and talk about this today.
Yes, I'm excited.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talk to Us Today. I'm Simrit.
And I'm Namita. And today we are exploring a very interesting and informative topic. In today's cutthroat society, is being compassionate seen as weakness or a strength? What do you say, Simrit?
So, now that this is like a great topic because even as a parent, I struggle with this. So many times I've personally been told that I should make my son stronger. And when I say that he is strong, people turn around and say, no, 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 no. He cares too much about people. He cares too much about others. And he's so emotional. And,
I
me and my husband
I
shouldn't
love
encourage
I love this about him. And I think all of us
that.
love this whole thing about him. Yeah,
but
he's
but not everybody thinks like you, and it confuses both of us parents a lot. After all, we're proud of having a son, a child who's compassionate, who's sensitive to others' needs and looks out for others. Since when did this become a sign of weakness?
amazing, isn't it? We have started believing that we can either be strong or we can be compassionate or kind. I mean, if you're kind and
Yeah.
look out for others, you are seen as weak, but this is not true. Being strong does not equal to being heartless or unemotional. In fact, I completely believe in opposite. Being compassionate makes us stronger because it gives us conviction to do right things. And being sensitive to others' feelings or condition cannot be labeled you as a weak person. And Simrit, I was reading and I just found out something that, as far as, especially on those psychology websites, and they generally they talk about it. As far as the inner strength or resilience is concerned, the ability to cope up with stressful situations or conflicts, the highly sensitive people handle them better than the people who call themselves so-called strong people.
Yes, I've read this. I've read this actually. Yeah,
Right?
you're
And
right.
it is not just that they survive adversity, but they thrive, learning from the experiences, developing the skills, and becoming even stronger. And as a result, in you know, in addition to that, they just don't get through the situations like hard-hearted or being tough or bearing their feelings. They adopt themselves to the situations. They get through to the difficult times or anything, completely by being themselves. I mean, they're
Yeah.
emotional or they're weak or they're sensitive, but they're themselves. They're being themselves, right? So that makes them
Yeah.
even more stronger. That's really
Yeah, you're
amazing.
right. Yeah. So, like, even let's talk about like in life, what do we need? Like, no matter what job profile you're in, or if you're in business, good leadership qualities are needed to promote yourself to get like ahead. So let's start with that. And what are good like leadership qualities, right? One of the top qualities that a leader can have is to motivate others, right? This is what I believe.
Yeah.
Now, if we take the scenario of a team manager who's aggressive and unsympathetic versus someone who's aggressive and sympathetic to his team leaders, the leader who's aggressive and sympathetic or compassionate will become more effective, correct? So this is just like you, like they'll learn how to be dealing with adverse situations. They'll be able to overcome obstacles. They can read the other person better. So they will know their weaknesses and strengths better than they can. So they're not just reading the surface. And this all, like these qualities will only come out if you are compassionate, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you recognize and
absolutely.
see others' weaknesses and strengths. So rather
Absolutely.
than just blindly pushing your subordinates, you gotta be compassionate towards them.
Absolutely, Simran. We all know that humans are social animals and we cannot work in isolation or even really have a good existence without others. To have a good,
Yeah.
successful life, our social interactions are extremely important. Everything revolves
Yeah.
around our interactions with others, right? And how we are
Yeah.
perceived and how people react to us depends on how much we are invested into their lives. So being a good
Right.
listener is very important part of a relationship. Yes. being a good listener. This has been told to me by so many people, and I think this was the first lesson which my mom told me when I was small. That you should listen first before you keep, expressing and telling. You should listen. So yes. So now we don't have to like agree with everything when someone says, but being a good listener gives us an insight about what others are feeling, what they're going through, and that creates compassion. To become a good friend, one of the best things someone can say is that the friend is a good listener or remembers what I said or felt. So that is all part of being compassionate. A compassionate friend is sensitive enough to know what their friend is going through, but also should be strong enough to tell them whether, whenever they're wrong or whenever they're right. On the other hand,
Yeah.
a friend who is not compassionate will only tell you what he or she thinks from her own point of view, not keeping an account of
Correct.
what the other friends' feelings were and what were they thinking. So, this advice from such friends kind of fall into like deaf ears because one feels like that they are not being heard. So, being compassionate is very, very important, but you have to be honest as well.
Yeah. I think that's the balance, right?
Yeah.
So be compassionate, but honesty is important in that. So being compassionate actually does make you more popular, right? This is what we're proving because your friend circle,
Yeah.
after all, a friend who's compassionate is sought after. That's what you're saying. But I think the real problem of why this compassion is seen as a sign of weakness is that we live in a highly competitive world, right? And going
Yeah.
back to kids or younger adults, even as parents, we're like, have you done better than the other kids in school? How much did
Yeah.
someone score in a test? So that makes them less compassionate. So people feel that to compete against others, kids need to shed their compassion and kindness and only look out for themselves. But I believe that there's a line between being competitive and selfishness, right? And that's a
Yeah.
big line. I mean, it's quite a wide line. You know when you're
And
going.
it's very difficult to understand where it ends and where it starts, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think you know when it starts, but then we forget. And then you're like, no, 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 but it's more important or whatever. So I believe that compassion and kindness starts with being compassionate and kind to yourself first. And you
Right.
should never change that. So, like, we have to teach kids even that, you know what, did you work hard enough? Okay, so you worked hard enough, then be kind to yourself. You'll do better next time. So, that should be rule number one. Be compassionate and kind towards yourself first, and then you can be to the others. So, and there's a big difference about being compassionate to yourself and being selfish, right? Or being competitive. So, there's
Yeah.
different aspects thrown around here. So, some parents may be undervaluing the importance of social interactions in school. So today, many schools, including the ones that our children go to, are incorporating social and emotional learning into their curriculum
Oh,
as well.
yes.
And this
And
has
this is,
changed
with
from
this,
our
I just
time.
absolutely, Simrit. And, once you mentioned that emotional learning is a subject in schools, yes, and this has remind me of a very lovely incident told by my daughter. She was playing in the park, and there was some child was bullying somebody, and she with her like she just went and like, you don't understand, he's feeling bad. Why are you doing this? He's like, no, because he took my swing. Then she was like, why do you have to do this? Even if you can ask nicely, he can give you. You have to be nice. Does your teacher doesn't tell you about being emotional, being sensitive? You should be nice to people.
So
I was
kids
like,
are learning these key words, right? These
yes,
phrases are getting stored down
right. And I'm like,
because
okay.
parents, yeah, but parents who are not educators are forgetting that the reason social and emotional learning is being incorporated into the curriculum is that it's seen that in middle school there are higher academic results in kids who are more social and kind. So
Right.
understand this, parents. Like, I'm going to repeat it so you guys understand. In middle school, so that's grade 6 to 8 or 9, there is a higher academic result in your children if they are more social and kind. So they
Wow.
do not have to be selfish and competitive. Their interactions lead to healthy competition, in fact, instead of vindictive sort of competition. And they don't find the need to trample over others. They're like, let's all go together.
Yeah.
And that's why the new schools are about study groups and working together. So
how wonderful
there
is
you
that?
go.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
wonderful is
exactly.
that? Yeah. And in high school, the kids who have well balanced personality are more motivated and interested in learning new things, and which is always good, especially when the
Right.
children, see school as a good, fun place to be. The results will
Always.
always
Yeah.
be better, right? And
Yeah.
they will look forward to go to school and they want to interact. They just want to discuss, share their knowledge with each other. I mean, it's always interesting to see them. My daughter comes with something new, which she tells me. The other day, she was saying, "Mama, do you know what Bermuda Triangle?" Like, where did you hear about it? Like, oh, well, my classmate was talking about it, and we were discussing, and like, okay, so
Right.
enjoy that learning, that sharing information.
Yeah.
But she decided,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to tell her about something which I know. Like, why not? So, yes, so I
Very
think
good.
they're doing a very good job that way. And the way we can make school a better place for all the children is by incorporating compassion as an important
Yeah.
skill, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so be compassionate, be sensitive, be emotional, express yourself, whatever you feel to your friends or
Yeah.
family, be empathetic, and always remember being compassionate and kind does not make you weak, rather, it makes you strong. And be strong with the dressing of compassion and kindness, and all that makes. And above all, you have to be, and yes, you have to be yourself as well and happy.
Absolutely. Great. So today's takeaway, guys, is in case you didn't see the whole episode, is that compassion is not a sign of weakness. In fact, in the face of what we see today around us, stronger people are the compassionate ones. And so be yourself, be emotional, be strong, have convictions, stick to them. And above all, do everything to make this world nicer and better.
Yeah.
That means be compassionate.
Yay, be compassionate.
That's all on Talk to Us today. That's all on Talk to Us today. We always look forward to hearing from you all. So if there's anything that you guys see that you like about our show, do let us know in the comment section or email us at hello@talktoustoday.com. And definitely let your friends know where to find us.
Yes, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m. Also, don't forget to follow us on our podcast that is on Spotify. It is by the same name, Talk to Us Today, and you will find all our new and old talks on the podcast. So don't forget to follow it. And remember to talk about Talk to Us Today. Keep smiling.
Keep smiling.
Keep laughing, just like Simrit.
And keep talking. See you
Keep
guys
talking.
next Friday. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.